Miller. I own a new business I started last year, pieCFOmind Accounting. We all know the name is not that clever, so I wanted to give you all a lesson on how do I pronounce pieCFOmind, right? So just think pieCFOmind, pieCFOmind. But just tell them to call me if they need me. I go by Karen Miller. Do buffer that when you talk to people because my name is Karen. We all know this has got negative connotations. I own it. It's a little bit true. So, you know, it is what it is. What to expect when you're working with me. So for those of you who know me, you know I'm serious about my bag, right? I'm serious about my bag. I'm serious about your bag. It's slang for cash, money, all of those things. So, what we want to do is, I'm going to send you emails on nights, weekends, and holidays. You don't have to respond, but that's what I'm going to do. I do a lot of my analytical, productive work when things are quiet, and I need to send emails while I'm thinking about it. Because if not, I might forget. I don't expect people to respond when I send them, and a lot of people feel obligated to do that, so I just want to set that expectation in the beginning. I'm going to cuss. I'm going to drop the F-bomb like it is nobody's business, and it is said out of enhancing the sentences, not out of anger or frustration. If it's going to offend people you know that you refer to me, just tell me and I will try to refrain, but it's just simply part of who I am at this point. So I might not be a good fit for somebody if they can't stomach that. I'm likely to develop relationships with my customers' staff, my customers' customers, and my customers' vendors. Depending upon what they hire me to do, I act and represent myself as a person of that business, and therefore I take an active involvement in that business operation. Again, depending on what they want me to do, but it very well can happen. Me and my customers, we're going to identify good things, and we're going to identify bad things, okay? Most times we identify bad things first, and then it progresses and gets better. We are not going to shoot the messenger when I deliver bad news, and vice versa to my customers. We're going to create a supportive environment, and we're going to fix the bad things, and we're going to maximize the things that are going well. My services are likely going to cost my customers money they aren't currently spending. That's a hard sell, right? My customers might already be cash strapped to begin with, so it makes it an even harder sale. So this is something I know. I try to work with my customers to find a nice blend of the level of intricacies that we need and what they can afford. People have asked me, well, what do you charge? Like, what's your pricing? My typical prices range from $500 a month to $10,000 a month, depending upon the level of service. Now, if somebody's paying me $10,000 a month, they're probably getting 30 hours of my time a week, right? So that's not a likely customer, but that's where it could go if we got to that point. But again, I work with my customers. I'm not trying to get super rich. I mean, I'd like to be rich, but I'm trying not get super rich, stupid rich. But I do provide a valuable service. And as I've mentioned before, I often help people find money they didn't know they were missing. And so in a lot of ways, it helps recoup some of the money they've spent on me. I can't make that promise because that's an ethical thing as a CPA. So that's what we know from there, okay? Now, it's because of that bullet point mentality and all of those things I just told you guys that I wear sequin pants. It's not because I think they look good. It's because they add levity to my otherwise solemn affect, okay? So, and for those of you who don't know what this is, it's from the movie Stripes from the 1980s. If you haven't seen it, you should watch it. It's so funny. And let's see. Depleting funds without being replenished is the #1 cause for business failure. So I tend to do things a little differently than a lot of what I would say most accounting/bookkeeping firms do. A lot of firms build their efficiencies by connecting QuickBooks to the customer's banks and credit cards. They see the transactions queue into QuickBooks and they hit enter, 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 add expense, add expense, add expense. I don't do that. I like to get the transactions entered into the financial system before they hit the bank or the credit card, okay? And depending upon how you enter them in QuickBooks, directly affects your ability to run accrual or cash basis financials. Even if you hired QuickBooks Live to do your bookkeeping, they are not going to do accrual-based accounting. What's accrual-based accounting and why do you care? So accrual-based accounting is a way whereby you are matching the timing of the benefit of the expenses not when you spend the cash for the expenses, but for the time period the services occurred for the expenses. Example, you pay Gary $7,000 for an annual insurance policy. The cash is going to come out every September for $7,000, right? Businesses need to plan for that. The benefit of that $7,000 lasts September to August. So you have to have a system in place where you're expensing 1/12 of that over the period it does. So that's what I do a lot differently than a lot of my peers and counterparts. I focus on accrual-based accounting and cash-based. There's both, right? So this is a little example of work that I've done. I know y'all can't see this. This was the entire revenue and cost of goods sold before me. This was the revenue after me and the cost of goods sold after me. More accounts are not always better. You can actually mess things up if you do too many, but it's all about the design of how to do it to make it more useful for businesses that are not accountants who are running their businesses. And from there, I'll be done. I have more, but we're done. Thank you.